my sister, and let us build a nation together. So much of things that we need to see about. Surely I do have to spell them out. Cause you know as well as I do, the only way is put in more effort and less play. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation.
Yes, indeed. Now more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production. I want to welcome you to the Hub. Again, we have a unique moment in time to talk, using radio and social media to connect. I want to encourage all those on Facebook and YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring. I want to start off tonight by saying I was taken aback when I listened the NNP on their platform, speaking, talking. Because if you're young and you have not been following politics over the last, let's say, 10 years, you will think that the NNP is some new party. You will think that the people who are speaking on that platform are new, as though they are fresh to the politics. But if you are a person who, yes, young, but have been following the politics here in Grenada, you must know that the NNP been in government for 23 years and a half, and that they have been around for a lot of years. In fact, they have been in power, meaning the NNP with Keith Mitchell being the prime minister, and the NNP before that, the NNP of Hubert Blaise, it would bring that number up to almost 30 years. So they have been around for a long time. They are not new. Don't make them make you believe that they are new. Because you hear them talk about roads and how bad the road condition is. And once they get into power, they're going to fix it. And they're going to build drains. And I said to myself, but you were there for almost 30 years. And if you want to just look at Keith Mitchell being in power with the NNP for 23 years and a half, and that was recently, you were there. Why didn't you fix the roads, widen the roads, build drains, and always fix the potholes, because they talk as though when they were in government, there were no potholes. And the roads were widened, and the drains were built, and everything was nice and rosy. Because that's how they're talking. So if you don't know, you can easily be fooled to think that these people are new and they come with ideas and they're going to turn things around and turn Grenada into a utopian state, a paradise on earth. But they cannot fool people like me and many others, because they were in power for 23 years and a half, and they had all the time and resources to fix these roads. Don't make them fool you. They speak about cost of living, but why they were not able to bring down the high cost of living and fix this thing once and for all? Why? You were there for 23 years and a half. When the NNP was in power and you needed to get a piece of beef from the abattoir, that cow had to come from St. Vincent. If you needed a piece of pork or goat meat and all those different things, they had to come from outside. The NDC came into power and they have a nice breeding program going on with cows that will give you good quality meat and good quality milk, and we can go on and on. The goats, same thing, pigs, and we can go on and on in terms of quality of meat. The government has invested significantly in agriculture. You have a new tissue culture lab. You have the coconut crop that being revitalized. You have so many things happening for the farmers. They were given cash payments to assist them to bounce back. They are given concession on so many things. Farm roads are being constructed, and we can go on and on. But I'm saying the NNP is talking about cost of living on their platform, talking about the high cost of electricity, the high cost of goods on the shelves, and they make you believe that they are new. They make you believe that they were never in power. And I am saying, folks, they were in power for all of these years, but they couldn't fix these problems that they're talking about. So what is different now to reassure the general public that they would do better, that they would fix all of these things once they get power again? Because you see, they believe they're speaking to stupidity. They believe they're speaking to fools. And I am saying, folks, they're talking about housing. You could imagine that? Housing, agriculture, roads. Look at the Grandetang Road. It took the NDC to come back into power and work on the widening of the Grandetang Road. The NNP never had that vision to widen the Grandetang Road for all the years that they were in power. And you go around the country, the roads were never widened, the roads were never worked on in any serious way by the NNP. And they were in power the longest, for more than 2 decades. I am saying these meetings that they're having is really to speak to their supporters. Because any reasonable thinking Grenadian would say, but wait, you were there, you didn't fix it, you didn't do anything to change the condition. But lo and behold, you want to come back into power. You're listing all the problems and you're making some big promises. And you introducing yourself as though you're fresh, you're new to the politics. You're not new to the politics. You have been there for all of these years. Why didn't you fix it? All the problems that you're talking about, why didn't you fix it? I want to know. I really do. You couldn't fix it, but you want the NDC to fix it in 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. But you were given 23 years and a half and you couldn't fix it. And every time the NNP gets on a platform, cost of living this, cost of living that, the price on the shelves in supermarket is this, and the cost of electricity, or they call it light bill. That's what they're calling it. The bad roads. But I'm saying these things existed under NNP. Why didn't you fix it? Why didn't you bring down the cost of goods on the shelves that are not produced here? Much less what's produced here. Because the majority of goods that we purchase, they are not produced here in Grenada. They are produced outside of Grenada. We do not produce Alaska milk, condensed or evaporated. We do not produce Dutch lady milk, evaporated or condensed. We do not produce full cream milk or Nestle's milk. We do not produce sugar here in Grenada. We do not produce flour here in Grenada. We do not produce rice here in Grenada. We import most of our meat, chicken, chicken wings, chicken back, chicken neck, chicken leg, breast, thigh, salt, fish and all coming out from Grenada, outside of Grenada. Pigtail and pig snout. We don't produce this thing here. Onions, garlic, butter, cheese. We don't produce these things here. Oil, the oil that people use. Because to buy coconut oil, you have to have a lot of money. Or local coconut oil. It's healthier, but it costs a ham and a leg. And not now, long. But the oil that people use, the vegetable oil, the soya bean oil, the, whatever oil. So these things are not produced here in Grenada. The salt, it's not produced here. It's not. The spaghetti, it's not produced here. The macaroni, it's not produced here. The mackerel is not produced here. The corned beef is not produced here. The sausages is not produced here. The sardines is not produced here. And we can go on and on and on. The cream of wheat is not produced here. The oatmeal is not produced here. Or Quaker oats, as we call it. Or quick oats, they're not produced here. So all of these things are produced outside of Grenada. And the majority of these things do not carry tax. They're not taxed, the majority of them. Some attract tax, VAT, but the others, they do not. The majority of them do not. They're zero rated. So the prices are actually shipped externally from outside. And when goods come in, so for example, this week, if you go to a shop and you purchase something, let's say rice, when it comes in the next 2 weeks, the price goes up maybe by 50 cents, 10 cents, 30 cents. That's the reality. That's the reality that we face. And that's not now. That hasn't been happening yesterday. Long time ago. But the NNP is making their supporters believe that cost of living is high only now, which is a big joke, which is a big laugh. One sec.
I say that is the main foundation. So come let us go hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together. This also goes for every Trinbagonian.
Yeah, so it's important that our people know that these things are not produced here in Grenada, right? Well, flour is produced here. Flour is produced here. But the majority of stuff are not produced here in Grenada. So to give the impression that cost of living is high only now is false. And it's high all around the world. All around the world, the price of goods continue to go up. And that is why the government is investing heavily in agriculture, in helping farmers, in helping families with a backyard garden to plant something. Because you see, there are certain things that you cannot change. No matter what you do, you can't change it because you don't produce it. You don't control the raw materials and so on, and you're producing these things. So what you do is adjust to suit. You have to balance it up, because if you have, let's say you plant beans, you plant okra, you plant lettuce, cucumbers, peppers, chive, thyme, maybe tomatoes, not plenty, but if you plant a couple of that in your backyard, because in Grenada nearly everybody has a backyard, right? You plant pumpkin, maybe. You might plant a couple of banana trees, right? Banana, maybe a blugger, right? You have a callaloo drain close to your house, that kind of thing. You maybe have breadfruit tree in the backyard. Once you have these things, then you only have to buy few things from the supermarket. So you ease up the burden on your pockets, because you cannot change the situation in the supermarkets. And if you speak to owners of supermarkets, they will tell you by the time the goods come in, the price is already made. They already know the price, what to add to it. So these things will not change just like that. And it's not like the NNP could come in power and change the cost of goods on the shelves. Because up to this day, they have not said to the Grenadian people how they will change it, how they will bring it down, how they would make a tin of condensed milk cheaper or a tin of evaporated milk cheaper. How? Or a pound of chicken wings. I think it's about what? $5 or $5.50? Or a pound of turkey. They have not explained how they would make it cheaper. So the NNP, they're on a platform, they're talking, and their supporters are clapping. But they need to explain to the Grenadian people, okay, cost of living is high, but how would you bring it down? How would you make it cheaper for families? What would you do magically that the NDC can't? What would you do differently? That is what we want to know. That's what the Grenadian people want to know. It's easy to go on a platform and talk. It's easy. But when it comes to the doing, because you were in power, you were there for 23 years and a half. Why couldn't you do it then? Why? Tell us how you're going to bring down the price of a packet of rice. Because nowadays, they're not selling it by the pound in terms of you weighing it and putting it in bags. Tell us how you're going to bring down the price of a 2 pounds of rice, a packet of 2 pound rice, or 5 pounds, or 3 pounds, or 4 pounds. What would you do differently? Do we produce this thing here? Tell us how you're going to bring down the bottle of oil. What would you do differently to bring it back, to bring it down? Because all countries is going up. What makes NNP so unique, so special, so smart that it could bring it down? What would you do? I want to know. Because you hear them on their platform, cost of living. The high price of electricity. But if you living in a house and you realize that your bill is high, then what you need to do is to make amends, make adjustments. You have your lights on all night. You have fans on all day. You have AC on maybe all day. It might be, there might be certain areas where the coldness is getting out. You have fridges. You have to adjust. You have to adjust. So maybe you cut off your light at a particular time. You adjust the fan. There are things that you must do. Maybe you check the rubbers of your fridge. Because you want to make sure that you can save. Because Grenlec, they need to buy the fuel to run the generators to produce electricity for you. They need to get the hardware or the materials, the lines, the poles, the this, the that. They need to pay workers. These things are not cheap. They're not cheap. And Grenlec has been fair to the Grenadian people. When the price of fuel drops, the price on the bills, the electricity bill, that too drop. The prices go down. So they complain about Grenlec. They complain about prices on the supermarket, on the shelves. They complain about bad roads. But all of these things existed under the NNP. Look at the Mardi Gras Road, for example. Do you know how many vehicles pass that road on a morning time? But it's still a donkey cart road. Very narrow. You have plenty more houses in this area. And nearly all house has a vehicle or two. And vehicles pass here to avoid the humps by the St. Paul's police station area. It's shorter for them, it's quicker. So they pass this side. Good Hope, down Mardi Gras Road, onto the Greens, and wherever. But the size of the road is still the same. The NNP never had the vision to widen the road or to full up these box drain-like things on the side of it and put sleeper drains to widen it? No. Or take some pieces of land from people on the roadside, promptly compensate them, but widen the road. But they want NDC to do all of these things. And you know what's amazing? There was going to be an asphalt plant in the Woodford area. The same NNP and the surrogates fight against it. I think it's Reno or Re something, right? They were going to set up an asphalt plant there, quarry and asphalt plant. So we would have had two, and they would have been able to supply Grenada with proper asphalt so that they can do the roads. But what happened? Some people team up and talk about this and talk about that, the NNP too, all of them. Then they halt that project. They have to do all kind of, studies and that kind of thing. So you have potholes, you have roads that need fixing. But you have to wait on that one asphalt plant. You understand the point? So sometimes we have to understand the thing. They make all the noise, all the yap yap. But now they want the roads to be fixed. Yeah. They want it to be fixed. So where would the asphalt come from? Can the asphalt plant that exists provide the required amount and quality? You see, some of these people believe that they're smart. So they go on a platform and they talk and they believe that Grenadians don't know. They believe that they could fool us. But they can't. Grenadians are smart people. And we know that things do take time. The NNP, they are now in Vendome complaining about the Willis Bypass Road that they started. They started the Willis Bypass Road close to the election, and they were making a mess in Willis with that particular project. You've been there 20-something years. Why it took so long to do such a project? When it's your constituency, you control that constituency for years. Years. I am saying, why didn't you fix it before? But you now want to cost the NDC because you want them to fix it. The Vendome playing field. You started that thing and you made a mess out of it. But you want the NDC to fix it. Fix everything. Many of these things, NNP started it, but they couldn't finish it because they did it close to the election. Electioneering. They want votes. They want support. So I am challenging the NNP. You're on a platform. You're condemning government. But where are your solutions? Where are your plans? What would you do differently? You talk about cost of living. Tell us how you will bring down the prices. What would you do differently to bring the prices down? Do we produce these things here in Grenada? I'm asking. So, no wonder their meetings are poorly attended. They bossing people from all the villages. Their meetings are poorly attended. Grenadians are not gravitating towards the NNP. In fact, Keith Mitchell is at that meeting. And when he arrived, he did not even get a rusty round of applause. People they're not even studying this guy anymore. They're not even studying the NNP on a whole anymore. They're fighting for relevance. That is exactly what they're doing. But we have to challenge them. Because it's easy to take a mic and talk. It's easy to do that. Although a lot of them fighting to fluently speak. Nimrod Olivier, I mean, the guy, he's terrible when it comes to public speaking and speaking fluently and making sense. The Ali guy, if he doesn't have that tablet before him, because he's just reading, you could see it's not genuine. It's not coming from the heart. But they could speak, they could talk. But we are accustomed to talking. We want action. And you need to explain how you're going to arrive at this. So don't tell us cost of living is high and that you're going to bring it down. How will you bring it down? What will you do to bring it down? We want to know. Because you were there. And that's the crux of the matter, you know. You were there. NNP was in power for all of these years. Why didn't you do it then? Why do you believe you could do it now? And when they speak, they make you believe that they knew, that they just come on the scene. Folks, be very, very wary when they speak as though they just come on the political scene. They were there for 23 years and a half. And we need to remind the younger set of people. Because you see, not everybody listens to this program. Not everybody listens to the Heartbeat program. Not everybody follows current affairs or follows the GIS or so, right? So you need to constantly, as you meet them, as you engage them, educate them. Some of them don't know that the government increased the minimum wage to give them better salaries. Some of them don't know that the government increased the salaries of police officers. Some of them don't know that the government increased the salaries of nurses. Some of them don't know that the government increased the salaries of doctors. Some of them don't know that government increased the salaries of security officers. Some of them don't know that government increased the salaries of public officers across the board. Some of them don't know that the government increased the salaries of geriatric caregivers, Imani trainees, housekeepers, laborers, bus conductors, clerks, and so on and so forth. They just don't know. Some of them don't know that the government assisted the small and medium-sized businesses with a grant of up to $30,000. Some of them don't know that the government paid the pension to the retired folks who were fighting and marching in the hot sun for years under NNP. The government paid that. Some of them don't know that. Some of them don't know that the government made the passport 10 years instead of 5 years and so on, right? Some of them don't know that the government is affording drivers their license to drive bigger vehicles, you know, mini trucks and that kind of thing, right? Some of them don't know that without going and do all this paying for license and paying for exam and all these things, you know? Some of them don't know that. Some of them don't know that the government is building the bathrooms and toilet for people with pit latrines. Some of them don't know that the government has the JUMP program providing internet access for households without and provide them with a device, provide them with training. Some of them don't know about the free tuition policy, where the government is paying the tuition of $810 for the students of TAMCC and NULO so that they can go to school. Some of them don't know about the free hot meal program in the schools. Some of them don't know that the St. David Catholic Secondary School is being built, brand new. Some of them don't know that the Grenville, the St. Andrew Anglican Primary School is being built in Grenville. Some of them don't know that the Grenada Christian Academy is being built from scratch in Pearls. Some of them don't know that the government has worked diligently in getting flights to Grenada so that people can connect, so that folk can come into Grenada and leave Grenada. Some of them don't know that the government has been at work throughout, helping, billing, supporting people in so many different ways. Look at the amount of scholarships provided for our people. Just check it out. Check it out. Look at the amount of government facilities being renovated and upgraded. So a lot of things people don't know. So you have to kind of remind them. They don't know about the community centers that are being refurbished, the playing fields that are being upgraded, the medical stations that are being fixed, the police stations that are being refurbished. They just don't know. The lighting of so many of the playing fields. And we can go on and on and on. The breeding program in agriculture, right? The spice replanting program. And so many other support for farmers. I'm saying NNP is playing on that because they know that a lot of people don't follow everything that's happening here. And they could care less. So we have to do what we must do, and that is to educate the young, educate our youths, educate our young people, let them know what happened over the many years, and share with them what government has been able to do. Look at Camahon Park. It has been widened, 5 acres more land the government got to widen that park to make it Heroes Park. You look at the then flamboyant hotel site, right? The Kiwana Bay Resort. Government was able to get back that. And then soon they will be starting construction and other things there to continue that project. So a lot of people don't know, Project Polaris, the teaching hospital facility and medical city, they just got co-financing of $668 million from the Afro-Exim Bank. The Center for Excellence is coming. That's Dungati and Orama Center for Excellence, where so many young people get the opportunity to enhance themselves, to become more knowledgeable, to learn a skill and so on. Some of them don't know about the digital workplace initiative, where hundreds of young people got the opportunity to receive training and are on the job, right? Doing internship and all these different things, paid for by the state. Some of them don't know about the Women in Agriculture Initiative, $7 point something million. Youth in Agriculture, $3 point something million. Some of them don't know all of that. So we have a duty to educate them and empower them and bring them in the know. Some of them don't know about the school bus initiative. Some of them don't know about the land regularization, helping people to own something. Some of them don't know about all of these things, people. So we have to be constantly educating them, helping them to reach that place where they know, where they understand what is at stake. So we have our job cut out for us. It's not a walk in the park because the NNP is good at lying and deceiving. They're good at misinformation and disinformation. And their supporters in particular, they're vulnerable. They're poor and vulnerable and susceptible to all of these lies. They're gullible. They fall for it easily. So we have our work cut out for us. And every opportunity you get, please educate the young, educate the youths, empower them. Come September, Forms 1 and 2, they will be introduced to ebooks and laptops. And I think it will be a kind of parents pay a portion for the device and government pays a portion for it, where they can have the books on the device. So instead of going to school with 10 books, but they would give parents the option of opting for books. If you want the hard copies and so on, you can still buy that for your children, or you go the route of the ebook, having the books online. Just as you have a Kindle, where you can read with that Kindle and turn the pages and so on, you can highlight, you can make notes and so on. You can do that on the laptop too. Those laptops are coming with that kind of feature. So come September, they'll be introducing that to the schools, Forms 1 and 2. And then I think they're going up and up and up. So the government is at work. The government is progressive. Everything cannot happen overnight. Step by step by step. But we must educate our people, educate our household. Let them know what's going down. Let them know what happened in the past. Let them talk about the achievements of this government. Look at the Southern Water Project, $70 or $80 million being pumped into the economy. So a lot of things are happening for people, but we have to educate the young. That's our responsibility, because some of them don't know, because they don't follow the politics like that. They don't, and they may easily fall for those things that's coming from the NNP. Because the NNP, I mean, they're like mad dogs at this point in time. They're so hungry for power. They come across as mad dogs. And they have all kinds of stuff to say with the hope that they're going to fool people and they're going to get back in there. And for the young set of people, if they don't know, they're going to believe that the NNP is new and that the players there, that they're new. But they're not. They're not new. They've been there for all of these years. All of these years. So we have to up our game to educate our people and list the many achievements. Because your work is not too hard, you know. The government is at work. They're doing a lot of things to help our people. What you need to do is to be able to educate your family members, your friends. Have a conversation with them. That is key. All right? I don't know who is this person under the live, right? Jesus is God. Okay, we know. But this person, their name is Jesus is God, right? So if you continue to post like this under the live, I will block you. I don't care who you are. If you make one more post under the live, if you believe that this is the opportunity for you to, I don't know, whatever, go somewhere else. Not under my live. All right? So I'll block that person. Let me just block that person here. Whoever that person be, let me just block you off. I don't care who you are. All right? You're not going to come under my live with your stuff. Block. All right? Block. Add to block list on the chat. All right. So that person is gone. Good. So I don't care who you are. Under the live, don't come under this live and put your stuff here. If you're participating in the conversation that we are having, no problem. So I am saying, folks, we have our work cut out for us. And we have to challenge the NNP. We have to challenge them. If you say you're going to do better, tell us, because you are there. We know you. We know you. We saw you for 23 years and a half. You didn't do better. So what reassurance you're giving us that you're going to do better? Because you're not new. You've been there for years. And you're not putting forward any plan, any program, any nothing. You're not even helping your people. All you do is to take a mic and talk, and talk, and talk. We are more than that. We are a smart set of people. Step by step, we're getting there. We are not perfect. Everything is not happening now, and it can't happen now. It will take some time. But we need to support this government. We need to support this team. They can't do it alone. We need to support our beloved Prime Minister. He can't do it alone. Look at some of those playing fields. They were in darkness for all of the years NNP was there. It took the NDC with the vision to light those playing fields, to resurface those playing fields, to put bathrooms and toilets adjacent to those playing fields. We have to face it, I am saying to you, if you believe NNP going to move this country forward, you have to be joking. All you need to do is to just look at the people who are still a part of the NNP. Roland Bowler, this guy has been there in the 90s or early 2000s. This guy's an old guy in the politics. Lorena Waldron, same thing, in the 90s or the early 20s. Emlyn Pear in the early 20s. Clarice Modeste in the early 20s. We're talking about in 2000 and something, early 2000s. Right? Not 20s, but 2000s. The early 2000s and the early 90s or late 90s. They've been there long. All the same players, the Gregory Bowens, the Keith Mitchell. Keith Mitchell has been there 41 years or so. 41 years in the politics. You think this guy could come with any new idea or anything new? Just sit down and think about it. This is like your grandfather telling you, who 20 and 30, come let me teach you how to use the smartphone and the tablet computer, the tablets, the laptop and so on, This is like your great-grandfather or grandfather, grand-grandfather telling you, who's 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, or 25, come let me teach you how to use a smartphone or teach you how to use AI or a tablet or a laptop computer. That's what it's tantamount to. Keith Mitchell been there, what? The guy is 70-something years. 70 what? 76? 76, 70, somewhere around there. 75, 76. The guy's an old guy in this business. 41 years as a member of parliament. What can this guy come with new to offer this country? He had 23 years to do it. So we have to speak to the young people. We have to let them know that these guys been there donkey years in the politics. Donkey years. It's just, extremely sad because they're still catching people, right? Someone is saying that he's 78, 1946 to now, right? So 1946, I'm not a mathematician, but so 1946, 2005, right? So this year, he will be 79. This year will be 79. November, 79. The guy's an old guy in the politics. And then the following year will be 80. You see the point? What more this guy could really offer? Offer what? Emlyn Page, she been there in 2000 and something, almost 20 or so years in the politics, you know. What more can they really offer? The whole vision is not gone. They don't have the vision, the foresight. They don't come with anything new. They're not coming with anything innovative, anything creative. They're not coming with anything impressive. Same old, same old, same old. So I'm challenging all of us to look at these things, because all of them want power, you know. All of them want to come back into power. All of them, they want to come back in power. And you ask, but what difference would you make? What impact? What you want to come back to do? Tell us your plans. Tell us your programs. Tell us your intentions. It would be good if we can outline that for us. That would be great. You see, there comes a time when you need to step aside. When you need to say, well, I've been there and I've done that. I had my time. It's now the younger set of people time. It's now time for new people to emerge and to do their thing and to come with their unique way of doing things. That's important. Very, very important. Because you see, for every individual, just like every kingdom, there's a rise and there's a fall. So when you're at your peak, you need to know when to bow out. A good dancer knows when to leave the stage. Because the same people who are clapping for you, they will start booing you to go down the stage. And that is the situation that Keith Mitchell found himself in. And we're seeing the same thing with the others within NNP. A person like Lorena Waldron, tell me now. I mean, for these people to enjoy their retirement, spend time with their grandchildren if they have, and great-grandchildren, and children and family, but they're still fighting for power, fighting to come back in power. And you ask them what you want to come back into power to do. Because you were there. Why couldn't you do it? You had ample time to do it. You failed to do it, but you believe that the people are going to give you a chance to come back into power to do it. I mean, it baffles me from time to time. You had the opportunity to do it. Why you didn't do it? No other politician in this country got so much time to do things in this place, you know. Keith Mitchell got the most amount of time to do it. And the NNP as a political organization, with all of them in it, they got the most amount of time to do things at this place. But yet, for a look at Grenada, the NDC has to come now and fight to fix nearly everything in this place. But still, the NNP, they want power. They're fighting for power. They're operating like some mad dogs on the stage now. All they want is power. Power, power, power. But you had power for 23 years and a half. What did you do with it? What did you do with it? So we have to hold them accountable. It's easy to take a mic and say things. I am saying We have to ask them some questions. You talk about cost of living, explain to us how you're going to bring it down. How are you going to bring down that tin of milk? How are you going to bring down the price of chicken, or rice, or flour, or sugar, or butter, eggs, cheese, spaghetti, macaroni? How are you going to bring down the price of these things? Ketchup, oil. How would you bring it down? Explain to us what you will do, because you were there and you couldn't bring it down. Why should we have confidence in you now that you're going to bring it down? You have to start asking those tough questions. You talk about the high electricity bills. How would you bring it down? What would you do to bring it down? You talk about the bad roads. What would you do differently than the last time? Because you were there. Why couldn't you widen the roads and fix it then? I want to know. It's important. Very, very important. We have to challenge them. But folks, I want to wish you all the best. Take good care. Have a wonderful night. I will be back with you tomorrow, God's will.